watching. I love it. So I want to talk about something that got me like fired up today. Okay. And a former client of mine messaged me this morning and was like, she's okay. So she's starting a coaching business. It isn't the same kind of business that I have, but it's an online based business, right? A service based business. And she was very frustrated this morning, right? And we all have these days. We all have days where we're like, things aren't working and, I can't have what I want and it just feels frustrating. And and she was like, I kind of feel like giving up and things like that. And don't get me wrong, like, even if you are like a super outwardly successful person, right? Like you have the business you want or the money you want or the whatever you want, you're going to still have days where you feel like giving up, right? Like that's part of the process. I haven't felt that way in a while, but I'm sure it will happen at some point again where I'm just like, ugh, just for the day I'm quitting. I'm quitting for today, right? I've had many days where I've quit for that day, right? Because what I do is not something I can quit. It's who I am. It's just part of me, helping people heal, helping people transform is just who I am. So I can't ever quit who I am. But you have your little fits and you want to throw something at the wall and frustration, and that's normal. I think every person who I've talked to who is in business has had days where they're just like, why am I doing this? Like nothing's working, right? That's normal. But she was feeling frustrated with the results she was getting, and she is getting support in that. She is, she worked with me, and then now she's working with somebody else. And when we were together, her and I, we did a lot of like deep inner work, healing stuff, inner child stuff. And, she reached out to me and she was like, I don't know that I'm getting the right support right now. And mind you, she's not my official client anymore, right? But I still care about you, right? Like even if you're not like my client currently, I still care. Not that I'm going to coach you for free or anything. And on like, I still have boundaries and guidelines, things like that. But, I want to hear from my past clients. I will, put my 2 cents in here and there for my people, right? Like I'm not like, oh, get the fuck out of here, right? You're not paying me, so I'm not going to talk to you at all. That's not how I operate. Like once you're part of my world, you're part of my world. And I always want to hear from you. And if you have, things you want to share with me, like that's totally cool, right? Say hi as you're watching. And, the person that's helping her has good intentions, right? But she wasn't getting the support she needed. And what I saw was missing from the support she was getting was the actual action piece, right? So here's the thing. Of course, I focus a lot on, the energetics, the healing, the inner child work, the shadow work, looking at the parts of yourself that doesn't believe, it doesn't feel worthy, that it feels unsafe to have what you want, that feels undeserving, or there's all these reasons why you feel like you can't have the life that you want, right? I do a lot of that work, and the people that come to me usually need it, right? Hi, Lanny. Welcome, gorgeous. How are you? People that come to me, they usually need that a lot. Like that is like the foundational work. And especially if you've been through traumas in life, you've had a hard, go of it, you've, been through a lot, right? Yes, you need that work. You need the energy. You need to come to trusting in life and also trusting in yourself and believing that you can have what you want, right? Like that is like the foundation. So people come to me and I help them get to that step, right? That's a really, really important piece. And I think it's what a lot of people aren't doing as far as like manifestation coaches. They're not addressing people that don't feel stable. It's like, oh, come to me when you're already doing well and I'll make you do even better, right? Like I'll take you from good to great, right? But people that come to me need to go from bad to good, right? Or from not so balanced to balanced, right? Like that's kind of what I'm really, really good at, right? And I can take you further, but that is part of my magic. So she needed that piece more than what she was getting. But she also wasn't being told to take the actions in her business. And mind you, she's working with a business coach, right? And I was like, that feels a little bit off to me, like, yes, you need the energetics. Yes, you have to believe people can come to you. Yes, you have to stay in your power. Yes, you have to do all those things. And, right? Yes, and you need to also take the actions and show up, because I was like, well, how's your sales page? Do you know how to write copy? Like, And these are not complicated things. Like, you can make it very complicated if you wish, but it's very simple stuff. I'm not talking about things that take, years to learn. Like, you can learn in probably a week, right? Are you showing up consistently? Are you posting your offers every day? Do you have some sort of content schedule, promotion schedule? Are you asking for the sale? All these kind of things. And the answer was no, no, no. And I'm like, is this being brought up to you at all in your sessions? No, no, no. And I'm like, okay, like, that's the problem, right? Yes, there are probably some things that you can internally work on for sure. Like, we always have an ever expanding journey, and there's always new things to uncover and new things to shift through and heal and process. Always, always, always. However, there are things that you can do today and ways that you can show up in your life that are going to move the needle, right? Like, we have to do our part. It's not just the energy, it's the action, right? And I'm not saying you take any action. It's like, what do you feel called to? Like, what feels good? If you know you need to be posting more, but you're not, then you're out of alignment, right? We all have these knowings and understandings, right? Like, if you know you need to be like on top of your money shit more and look at your accounts and start saving money or start paying off debt, and you're not, that's not in alignment, right? If you're trying to sign clients, but you're not actually promoting your business, there's a problem there, right? That's not in alignment. That's actually not in alignment. You have to show up as the person who has what you want, right? You be the person, you embody the person in your mind, in your spirit, in your soul, in your emotions, and also your actions, right? How would the version of yourself who has that success, whether it's a business, the new job, or the whatever, right? How would they be showing up, right? I'm for damn sure they're promoting themselves every day. Right? Or they have a team that does that for them or whatever, but there is promotion every day in their business. And if you're not doing that, there's an issue there. And so I kind of was like a little bit taken aback that she wasn't getting that guidance and getting that loving slap in the face of being like, hey, like, this is what you need to look at. Like, this is where you need to put your attention. This is missing from your pie here, right? And again, it's not like has to be click funnels and this like bro marketing stuff either, because that's not what I'm about, but it's like a very basic strategy that you have to have, right? Period. End of story. You have to have at least a basic strategy, a strategy that feels good to you if your business is what you want to do, right? That's it. Like, you can't just be like, I'm just going to pray about it and like clients will land in my lap. Now, when you are showing up as the person, right? Hey, Ebony, welcome. When you are showing up as the person and doing the things, yes, I have clients still come to me in ways that I couldn't understand or have planned out, right? Like, I've definitely had clients out of the blue come to me, friends of friends, in really weird, cool ways, right? They didn't actually see a marketing post that I did. However, I still do the marketing posts. I still show up as that person. I still sell myself every day. I still do the actions, the 1, 2, 3, right? Because that's how I have to be. But the thing is, I'm being that version of myself who is the CEO of my business, right? Of my life as well. I'm being that person for the sake of being that person. I'm being that person because that's what I want to be. That's actually who I am. And that's the whole point of the journey, right? Like, the money and the clients and the success are a byproduct of you being the person. Those are just excuses and reasons to take the journey, right? The money and the success is the excuse to do the personal development, to become more powerful, to voice your opinion more, to trust yourself more, to be able to shift your money stories, to, own your unique gifts and your talents, right? Like, those things are all beautiful, amazing things. And that's actually the prize. That's actually what you're truly after. It's just the ego mind is like, oh no, it's the money and the clients and the success and the respect that I'm going to get from so-and-so, right? That's fine. But it truly isn't about that. So when you show up for your life from the perspective of like this, I'm doing this for the sake of doing it because this is who I am, of course you're going to get the results. But you're not overly focused on the results. You're like, this is who I'm being. This is important to me because this is who I'm being. Does that make sense to you guys? I hope that I like drove that point home. So I show up because I want to show up and because that's the person that I want to be and I'm choosing to be, right? And then of course clients come, of course money comes, of course opportunities come, of course things happen. But I'm being her anyway. And if tomorrow I didn't make a single sale, I'm still going to be her, right? And if the next day I didn't make a sale or a client, I'm still going to be her. And if that happened for the next month, I'm still going to be her, because being the person has nothing to do with the external results. I choose to be here. I choose to show up. I choose to feel good, work on my inner, critic, my inner bitch, as I call it lovingly, right? Work on that. Shift the energy, shift the blocks, of course, right? But then I show up as her anyway. So I want you to think about what in your life maybe you're avoiding doing, right? So yes, do the alignment, do the beliefs work, do the energy work, of course, right? Awesome. If you're not doing that, do it, right? Now, if you're doing that and you're not doing the action pieces, there's something off there. So what are you avoiding? What do you know you need to do that you've just been putting off, right? And I still have a few of those things in my closet. I'm not going to lie, right? I'm getting better and better about it. But everyone has that thing. So like, are you avoiding, your debt? Is that what you're avoiding, right? And are you doing all these kind of money affirmations, but yet your debt is avoided in the corner and you haven't looked at it or called anybody to make payments in a while or make arrangements, right? That's out of alignment with you saying, I want wealth, right? The affirmations are not going to work as well if you're not dealing with the money, right? Where in your business are you not showing up like you could be or should be? And I don't mean should be from a perspective of like, oh, so-and-so business coach guru told me to do this, so I should do it. I don't mean like that. Like, you have to always follow your own blueprint. But what do you know that you should be doing? What are the things that you, from a soul perspective, are like, you know what, that's what I should be doing. I really should be doing a podcast, not because somebody else told me to, but because that's what I'm feeling is the next step and I'm avoiding it, right? What are those things? Do you know that you should be selling more and you're not, right? Why is that? Lean into that, right? Shift it, but then show up and sell anyway. There are going to be so many times when, yes, shift the fear. Yes, shift the limiting beliefs underneath it. But there are going to be so many times where you just have to do it anyway, right? Do it scared, do it in fear. Like, that is truly what sets people apart from, that's what makes you a leader. And if you want to have a business, if you want to stand out, if you want to be more successful than what you see most people doing, you've got to do things most people aren't willing to do, which means facing your fears, alchemizing them, and stepping into the leadership role anyway, before you're ready, before you feel like, I got this, before you feel like it's who you are. You begin to make those steps anyway. That's truly what separates you, right, from other people that aren't doing this work and that aren't living the life that you want to live, right? That's the difference. So I hope that this kind of lit a fire under your butt as to balancing those energies. And it's kind of like, if you've been in the space of like spirituality for a while, maybe you've heard of masculine energy and feminine energy, right? The feminine energy would be the feelings and the limiting beliefs work and the energy work, right? And the masculine energy would be taking the actions, the doing, the figuring out, the logic, the systems, right? And so that's how that would play into your life and your business. We all have those two energies inside of us, no matter what gender you identify as, right? We all have those sides, and you do have to have a balance somewhat of both. You can't just be all one or all the other, right? The amazing flow comes when you merge them. And that's when you become who you're really meant to be, who you always were meant to be, right? The whole point of you coming to this earth was for you to fulfill your purpose and overcome things, right? And learn from them. So this is part of that.